Whether it's trust, friendship, a romantic relationship, or family ties, it's one of the most fundamental needs in any kind of relationship. So, in this video, I'm going to discuss the 10 qualities of people you should never trust according to Stoic philosophy. First and foremost, it takes observation to determine if someone possesses these qualities I'm about to discuss. But that's relatively easy. Just pay attention to their words and actions to get an idea of who they are and what they're about. To clarify, I'll provide comments on each of these types of individuals and explain why you shouldn't trust them. But before we dive in, please check your subscription to the channel. Stick around till the end because I have something special for you. And as always, don't forget to stay strong till the end. Let's start with the first type of person, narcissists. Dealing with narcissistic individuals reminds us of the importance of not letting the actions of others affect our inner peace. Being indifferent to their self-centered actions helps us maintain our mental well-being amid their arrogance. Think about it. If someone is always talking about themselves and doesn't really care about others, they're not someone you can trust. Because their focus is solely on themselves, constantly prioritizing their own needs. Regardless of who they are, you can't trust narcissistic individuals because they elevate their own image as if it's the most important thing in the world. They don't want anyone to be better or equal to them. They're the kind of people who would do anything to enhance their image even further. And this compulsive act of self-desiring and self-admiration is extremely dangerous. Because it's impossible to know what lengths such a person might go to in order to maintain the image they desire. They're typically the kind of people who shift blame onto others for their own mistakes. Therefore, don't trust people who talk excessively about themselves and try to impose their own opinions on others, because these individuals can harm you at any moment to achieve their goals. The second type of person is the gossiper. Gossip teaches us how to deal with rumors and hurtful words from people. It emphasizes the necessity of not giving power to others' opinions about us. If someone reveals others' secrets or shares information, it's likely they'll do the same to you, spreading gossip about you behind your back. Believe me, it's almost certain that such a thing will happen. When someone gossips, it's not just a habit, it's an action done for sheer pleasure. So, don't assume that just because someone is your friend, they won't share your secrets with others. Don't make that mistake. The only advantage you can get from gossip is if you want the information to spread. Because then all you have to do is say the gossip, and they'll do all the work for you. The third type is the person who constantly irritates you. When dealing with annoying or manipulative people, bitterness teaches us the practice of self-reflection. Instead of reacting emotionally, we can stop and think about how our perceptions and reactions are affecting the situation. If you find yourself easily losing patience with someone not because of them, but due to the daily stress you're experiencing, that's one thing. But if you're constantly getting angry around a specific person, that's a completely different situation. If someone has the ability to constantly anger you, it's because they cleverly provoke you with confusing ideas and subtly feed doubts in small doses, making it difficult for you to fully understand their emotional and psychological games. Believe me, there are people who behave this way just for the thrill of it. So, be cautious of these subtle little games. Because if someone always gets you angry, it's because they prod you with their gestures and words, and you don't even realize it. The fourth type is indecisive individuals. When it comes to indecisive individuals, Stoicism encourages us to focus on things we can control, such as our decisions and actions. It's easy to explain why these people aren't trustworthy. How can you trust someone who constantly hesitates about what decision to make? If they can't even decide on a direction for their own lives, how can you trust them? Also, they're entirely unpredictable because their personalities aren't fully formed, so you can't know exactly what their decisions will be. They're indecisive individuals who lack the strength to take action and choose the path they want to follow. Let's be clear. Trusting an indecisive person is like trusting a child with a knife. You don't know what they'll do when you're not around. The fifth type is the two-faced individuals. Stoicism advises caution regarding two-faced individuals. Instead of worrying about their actions, we can focus on developing virtue within ourselves. You've probably had a similar experience. They're the ones who seem to like you but spread rumors about you behind your back, and this behavior spreads to others. So, don't be surprised when others speak ill of you. My advice is that when you start noticing such behavior, it's best to exit the relationship as quickly as possible. The 6th type is the curious one. From a Stoic perspective, setting boundaries in conversations and sharing information cautiously is important. Stoicism advises staying away from people with insatiable curiosity, because it can lead to harmful information being exposed. Moreover, this curiosity can be linked to jealousy. So, always be careful about whom you share information with. After all, it's hard to be sure that someone won't use your information against you in the future. If someone is constantly curious about something, it's best to distance yourself from them or not trust them. However, it's important to note that this doesn't mean being overly suspicious in a conversation. What I mean is that when you're getting to know someone or talking with a friend, it's normal for them to occasionally ask questions about your life to get to know you better. Questions about your work, studies, and what you're up to. This is just a normal part of conversation. But what you need to understand is if the curious person is always asking about your life and sometimes sensitive topics. For example, they might ask about your salary, which is a bit odd to ask in the first place. If you decide not to answer and change the subject, they might ask the same question again later. That's what I'm talking about. This is the type of person you need to be careful about before giving them your trust. So, not only should you not trust such a person, but if you have the opportunity, distance yourself from them. The 7th type is the one who's friends with everyone. Stoicism reminds us that we can't control how others perceive us. Stoics emphasize developing uniqueness instead of seeking universal approval. We've all met someone who smiles at everyone, wishes the best for everyone, hugs everyone, and tells everyone you can always trust them, right? In summary, being popular, extroverted, and wanting to please everyone is a common type of person. I'm not saying we should judge someone solely based on these characteristics. My advice is not to blindly trust them. Beware, because the sole goal of someone who smiles at everyone, tries to please everyone, and always makes promises is to become popular. Their goal is to be the center of attention. So for them, you're just another person.